professors. We have a historian, Professor Macharia Munene, and getting mic'd not too far from where I'm standing is Professor Karuti Kanyinga, and I will be engaging him as well shortly. But first, your initial reactions to what we've witnessed this week. The first deputy president under the current constitutional dispensation being impeached by the Senate. Your thoughts, Professor Munene?
Well, there was nothing strange or new. It was expected. And only people who are surprised were those who chose to be surprised that it was happening. Even the deputy president himself, he should have known the way things were going, because he was warned from the day of the inauguration. Things were not going right, and he ignored. So
you see, when he was warned, are you referring to the statements that were made by the impeached deputy president at the swearing in?
Well, that was the beginning of the bad things. Then giving the impression of as if there is a co-presidency, trying to impose himself as the leader of a certain people before they even agree that he is. The vibes were not going right.
The vibes are not going right.
And the president wants to be in charge and be seen to be in charge. So there were some things that people noticed and they say, wait a minute, slow down. He didn't. So the process appeared to have been rushed. I think that's correct. The MPs who did the impeaching, and there have been allegations that they did not do it on their own volition, that they were scared, and that maybe they were induced in some other ways, and they did not vote their conscience. That's an allegation that has been made. And some of them have claimed that it happened. So that raises ground for saying, was this thing fair? Yes, the National Assembly impeached him with simply an accusation that he has a case to answer. Then he was tried in the Senate as the trial chamber, and he was convicted. And in the trial, it was not very impressive for some of us watching from far. Poor Motuse did not seem to do very well. But since the die had been cast, the evidence was not the issue. He was going. And one did not need to wait for the evidence, because as some of the lawyers on the prosecution side were saying, this is a political process. It's not so much the law. It is politics. Okay. And it was politics from day one. So being politics, and he did not have the political numbers, or at least not enough senators who are willing to say this is wrong.
Okay.
So it was a foregone conclusion.
It was a foregone conclusion. So you say no surprise, but you're saying you also saw it coming. Yes. From a mile away.
Oh, yes.
All right, so we'll get more into that together with Professor Karuti Kanyinga, who is on set, and we'll be engaging them in a more lengthy fashion shortly. But before then, Mama Lucy Hospital in